Meanwhile, like I said, President Obama on 60 Minutes last night talking about the raid, which it's quite apparent was simply to kill Osama bin Laden. Like I say, my biggest lament, I don't frankly care if that guy lives or dies. We killed over 100,000 innocent civilians in Iraq. 4,500 of our U.S. military personnel died in battle for a lie, for a total lie. We've killed thousands of Afghani civilians. The idea that Osama bin Laden is dead and died because we executed him, I don't care. The real thing that we should mourn in this instance is the fact that what was once a source of pride for this country, our ability to actually put people like this on trial, like the guys who attempted to blow up the World Trade Center in '93. We've lost that ability. We have lost. We have given away. We have thrown in the garbage can one of the most important American values that we had was our sense of a judiciary handing out justice. What are you going to do? But meanwhile, as the stories roll in about this, and this is stuff that I've been alluding to and have been speculating on since Monday. When I was on Radigan last week on Monday, I was asking these experts, what do we have to give to Pakistan? They clearly knew that he was there. And I think it's becoming even more clear, as I've speculated over the week, I should say, that he was probably in prison. Probably under house arrest in Pakistan, at least for the past 5 years. Obama made it clear last night on 60 Minutes that bin Laden has been held up in that villa for 5 years. That's not what a fugitive does. Fugitives do not stay in one place for 5 years.
Especially when there's people on American television in 2008 telling them they know where they are.
And when you have Christine Amanpour going on Bill Maher saying that U.S. military personnel, U.S. military intelligence, knew that he was in a villa in Pakistan in 2008. And George Bush closed down the CIA agency, ALEC, that was tasked with finding bin Laden. So I think what's becoming clear, New York Times, the story of bin Laden, the picture of bin Laden sitting on the floor in a small room wrapped in a blanket as he watched news clips about himself on television. Washington Post, as intelligence officials scrutinized an image of the compound, they saw that a man emerged most days to stroll around the grounds and courtyard for an hour or two. That's almost like what they had with Bradley Manning in Washington Post, also summing it up. In 2006, bin Laden swore not to die but a free man, but Osama bin Laden died a prisoner in a jail of his own making. A man without a nation, living apart even from those who shared his belief that mass murder was the path to power. This guy, it was as if he was in a prison. The world's most wanted terrorist lived his last 5 years in prison behind the barbed wire and high walls of his home in Abbottabad, Pakistan. His days consumed by dark arts and domesticity. This sounds to me like a guy under house arrest in Pakistan, and it also sounds to me like our intelligence services, at least as late as early as '08, maybe in '05, maybe in 2002, when George Bush said, "I'm not that worried about him." We knew that he was being held by the Pakistanis. And yet, he was used as a boogeyman over and over and over again. And the real question that needs to be asked now is, why did Pakistan decide this was the time to give him up? What did we have to give in exchange? Why wasn't the Bush administration pressuring Pakistan to give him up? These are all the questions that aren't being asked. You had a guy who went on Democracy Now! The other day, Graham Smith, from the Globe and Mail newspaper in Britain, saying that, there were gas meters and electric meters for that compound. And we can't quite find out who owns it, but it was military land he was living on. Now, apparently the Pakistani military rents, leases land all the time. But it really does make one wonder how it is that Osama bin Laden would build a compound, live there for 5 years, around the corner from the Pakistani West Point, and they never knew. So this isn't just the ISI at this point, right? This is the Pakistani military. Graham Smith said, it was described initially as a mansion, but it really did look more like a security compound of some kind, almost like a small prison. So these are the questions that should be asked at this point. Now, of course, I know how inappropriate it is to look back, to not turn the page